Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Flip and Customize on Project Bob and Weave. That's right, our metric bobber is starting to take shape. We're finishing up on the fab now, and where we left off last time with the tank mounts and everything. This time we got a new filler neck welded onto the tank. We just did some powder coating of parts. We did a lot of hardware. We did the electrical tank all powder coated. As you know, we did the overflow bottle last time. Kind of doing some mock-up right now with reassembled the rear swing arm, set the ride height, and fitting up the fender now. So I'll show you what we've done and where we're at this point. Excuse the mess, the shop. We've got 4 projects going on, and it's just stuff everywhere. Like this little dude. Nope, not part of this project, but fun little project. And as you know, in the last time we did our overflow bottle holder here for the Jack Daniels with an old connecting rod. The mounts for the tank itself are all done, shaved, welded up, and our new fasteners came in. Actually got to powder coat those. We fitted up our electrical can from Motorcycle J's. And what we did was powder coated it in the enchanted green. So again, keeping with the theme of this bike is that it's like alligator hide black for the frame, green body components, including the tank, and brass. So here's the tank. It just came out of the oven. These are the fittings for our sight glass. Well, the bungs. The fittings are going to go in it, and they'll be brass. I'll show you that a little later on. There's our shutoff valve. This is the new neck. This is the finished product, all welded in. So this is all new and welded in and cleaned up, and it's just come out of the oven in our enchanted forest. And again, the front plate, you saw that on the last time. I'll get another clip of that as well, showing you what it looks like with the brass fittings in it, because it is gonna look sweet. So last night had the owner of the build itself over, Josh, and we started fitting up the fender and ride height. We set the ride height with just some angle iron. It's about 2 inches lower than it would be at the factory. About. We got some rigid links coming. We were gonna make them. Still not 100%, but we're gonna do something to them. Again, hard-tailed, rigid links. The fender itself, sweet little fender. We got it fitted where we want to fit it, and we had it with the tire mounted up. So we had our tire with our chain on there as well, which is all done and wrapped in our wide white wall. So I'm getting stuff done on it. It just is, it's a project that people just don't realize how long it takes. But we fabbed up some brackets and flush mounted the screws. This one's going to get full welded to the frame. I'm just fitting it up. I got a couple more fittings to cut and grind and flush off of this thing. Our battery box is in now, down here, relocated. We got a lower bracket as well that I got to finish drilling. And then this thing's going to go in the oven and get powder coated enchanted forest as well. And one other thing we were going to do is, originally with the seat, we got the Springer seat on here. We're going to have a plate welded here and a plate welded here, and then 2 more separate plates here, and it was going to stay all open. However, there's a lot of electrical and stuff going on right here. It's nothing attractive to see. So last night we were toying around with some different ideas, and we templated up some cardboard here that we're going to have my buddy TJ cut out on his plasma table. And we're going to make essentially a pan out of 16 gauge, bend it up, cut it up, and it's contoured to the fender, as you see as well. That is going to be pretty sweet. Now, right here and here is going to get its blinkers. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. These are the little like cat eye blinkers that will be mounted into here, flush mounted. So those will go right there. His actual brake light is going to be side mounted over here with his license plate as well. So that's the blinker that's going to go in this plate. 16 gauge, same as the fender itself. Plenty thick enough for what we want to do. And there's plenty of surface area for those springs to land on as well. And it's going to kind of hide some of the electrical under there. It'll still be wide open through here, which is nice. And essentially you don't really even see the brackets on that fender, because a lot of guys will go from here down to here or in this area. And I don't care for that look, so we're trying to avoid it. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not for me. So we kind of have our bracket hidden up underneath this and way up under here. So that's a cleaner look, I think. Once we have this fit up, if we find it's just not firm enough, then we're going to go ahead and make an additional bracket. But for now, that's what we're going with. So I'm gonna, basically what I gotta do is, I marked out my lower holes. I'm gonna pull the fender back off, drill the lower holes, cut our screws shorter, put the tire back in here, make sure everything's fitting the way we want it before this goes in the oven for powder coat. So let me get that off. Alright, these won't be the final screws, but I had these countersunk screws. It'll be the same dropped one. Countersunk screw here, but I had to cut these down because they were too long. I don't know where I put that screw. There it is. Woo! Found it. But anyway, and just to give you a view here, they're countersunk into the swing arm as well. But these will get powder coated. This is going to be powder coated with the frame. That'll obviously have to be done separately on the bike. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these back on so we can get this wheel fitted up. Make sure everything's good before we powder coat that fender. All right, fender's back on, and actually it's barely tight, and this thing is plenty rigid. We're not gonna need any more fenders than that. I mean, I'm shaking the whole bike with this thing. So, countersunk screws on the brackets. One thing I did screw up on, well, kind of, is the ones that are lower down there are literally against the swing arm, so you're not getting a screwdriver in there. So they'll have to be tightened from this side. And originally I was just gonna weld the nut. I can do it on these two here to capture it, so you'd never have to put the nut on, but we're gonna have to reach up and put these nuts on and tighten them that way. Minor. There's more room on this side because the swing arm's designed a little bit different than this side because of the drive shaft. That's okay, we'll overcome. I'm gonna throw the tire up on there now and see how we did. All right, I got the tire back on. That was a battle. You didn't get to see me struggle with that, holding it and the frame not falling and everything else by myself. I spared you of that, but we're on. And the nice thing about the shaft drive is you can kind of get it in here and setting in here and it'll stay, which is nice. It isn't dead on perfect because I don't have the axle slid on here, but it is pretty darn good. So the fitment is good. Our clearance on the fender is freaking perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. Again, we're doing some full welds on here. And then fasteners. There's clearance on the fasteners to the tire. As well, plenty of clearance, so that's not an issue. And this tire is not going to travel. You'll get a little bit of changing as the speed of the tire changes, but not enough to interfere with anything we got going here. And like I said, it's very rugged. I'm not worried about that. Very rugged. So that is awesome. Super happy about it. The links will be here, and it'll be very close to what we mocked up, which they better be because this is the way it has to be for ride height now in order to maintain this clearance. So these came out awesome. Really happy with this. All right, there it is. I got the tank on, again, in that enchanted forest. Different lights, it's different, but it's basically a matte finished green with a metallic in it as well, with the brass filler cap that we welded this bung in here. It is vented. Filler plate on the front here because we high-rised it. Our mounts, and gotta love that sight glass for the fuel gauge. That freaking pops. The brass on the green is, my chicken is going nuts over there. Oh, I love it. This is rad. I love it, I love it, I love it. Came out awesome, super happy. The customer's gonna love it. Fender's fitting good, it's coming together. It is coming together. All right, guys, so thanks for watching this episode. As you can see, we are making progress on Project Bob and Weave. We are gonna have a limited run t-shirt on this project build that we're doing, like we do all of our builds. My shop truck we got going, we got freight train going. Every one of them is gonna have its own special run t-shirt. So stay tuned for that, and I'll put a link in the description when we actually finish the bike and get it made. But follow along, subscribe to our channel. You're gonna wanna see this through. It's coming. Thanks again, Flip and Customized.